The early years of Grand Prix racing, when you came over to Europe, you were known as a somewhat arrogant, if but retiring person. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. But I think also way back in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, I think racing was a little bit more relaxed as far as the sponsorship. Sure, there was still a lot of money being spent on development work from Suzuki and Yamaha, and then Honda finally in 1982 and 83 coming in. But there was a lot more relaxation, and a rider can do what he wanted to do and not be criticized for just being a joking around person or so on. And in 1988 through the past season in 1990 now, if you're caught saying a joke, or if you're caught, so to speak, with your pants down, you're not serious about racing, and I don't think that's totally correct. The people know how serious I am.
Randy Mamola may well be serious about his racing, but like all Californians, he knows there's a time to stop working and let his hair down, along with just about everything else.
As I said, I started at the age of 12, and this was dirt track racing. I had no idea I would ever become a road racer.
Yeah.
I was the youngest factory rider at the age of 14. I met Jim Doyle, who's now my manager still, and he was Kenny Roberts' manager, as Kenny was number one in the United States, Grand National Champion. And from age of 12 to 16, I raced in 600 events. 400 of those events were first place. And so from there, I turned that into a money-making deal for kids, because I didn't have room for all the trophies. And at the age of 16, I helped kids that were crippled in my hometown of Santa Clara, California, by donating trophies to a race that I put on at the fairgrounds of my hometown of Santa Clara, California. But I went on to bigger and better things. I was a 250 national champion, I believe, in '78, and I tried to race at Imola in 1978, I believe, again, 77 or 78. This is when I was 17 years old, and I couldn't because I didn't have an FIM license, and FIM wouldn't allow it. But with the notoriety coming about as I began road racing at 14, I went down to New Zealand, and road racing being fairly popular down in New Zealand, Australia, that got to the press here in Europe. With it getting to the press in Europe, it interested somebody to sponsor me in 1979, which was Adriatica Bimota, 1979 for the World Championship, my first time.
A series of good finishes brought the 19-year-old Mamola 64 points and 4th place in the World Championship.